for joining us for another edition of my story sharing project. I started this project just to endeavor to share some good news amongst a sea of daunting news that we were having. I've had a lot of fun doing this project and have met with many people, and today I would like to introduce my friend and colleague Ibbie. She's a pelvic floor physiotherapist, and she's the founder of Mama's Physio. Really great lady, lots of fun to listen to and very informative. So welcome, Ibbie. Thank you for doing this project with me.
Yeah, thank you. This is fun.
Yeah. So, can you tell everyone just a little bit about yourself and how this self-isolation has affected you both personally and with your business?
Sure. A little bit about myself. I'm a 30-something-year-old lady. I have 4 children. My oldest is 6 and my youngest is 10 months old. So we're all at home and I'm married. And I'm also a business owner. Like you mentioned, I own the Mama's Physio. So yeah, I mean, that's me in a very small little bit of me. And in terms of how everything has been affected, well, what hasn't been affected, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely everything has been. So our routine has changed. Obviously the kids are not going to school. I'm trying to figure out how to homeschool them while trying to figure out what's happening with my business, and also provide leadership and support to my clinical team as well.
Right.
And my husband also, he's an entrepreneur. He works for himself, so he's been home a lot as well. So we've been navigating all of those pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people under one roof when you're
Yes.
being very busy doing other things.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. So as a physiotherapist, you are one of the lucky therapists that can actually reach out to some of our clients with telehealth. Could you talk about that a little bit, how that works?
Sure. I do feel lucky, like you said, and thankful that we are still able to touch base with our clients and provide support during this time, because just because we're all at home doesn't mean that people's pelvic health problems have suddenly vanished, right?
Yeah.
So they're still trying to navigate that in the middle of everything else that's going on in their lives as well, right? So we are able to provide telehealth, and that just basically means jumping on a secure virtual platform, or the phone, of course, always an option, and touching base with our clients and progressing, if they were pre-existing clients, we'll try to progress their programs and give them some suggestions of what they can be doing on their own. And if they're new clients, then it's, trying to get through that initial consultation, really understanding what their symptoms are and how they present, and then giving them some strategies to get started. So it's working out okay. Although that being said, a lot of our clients are wanting to wait until they can see us in person, because they do want the internal treatment that you can only provide, obviously, in person. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice that you are able to reach out to some of the clients, because they don't have to feel so alone at home and just wonder. And just sometimes getting somebody saying, no, you're not crazy, or you're going to be okay, or try this, to have something. That's
yes, exactly.
Helpful. So helpful.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Good.
So the point of this whole project is trying to share some good stories that have come out of this time of isolation and social distancing. We all know so well by now all the things that are difficult, and as you said, we're re-navigating how we're living our lives day to day and hour to hour even. But is there a good story that you would like to share with us?
I just love your perspective. First of all, I think it's so good for our mental health and our brains and our bodies to not get dragged down by all the negativity around us. So I just want to commend you for doing this. It's great, and it's a nice little bright light in the midst of what feels kind of heavy in this season. So I can't say that there's been any one big magical amazing story, but there've been a lot of smaller moments that are just awesome in the last few weeks, personally and in our community, in my community here. So like one small thing, is my husband. He is a great cook, right? But he doesn't usually have time to cook in our busy lives. But now that we're all home, he's really taken upon himself to learn more cooking skills, and he's making dinner every night. So for me, I'm like, that's awesome. That's one thing kind of off the plate. And his food is good, and like and he's enjoying the creativity. And so that's been really cool. We're in the kitchen together cooking. It's been good for our marriage and our relationship. So that's like one small positive thing. We go for walks in our neighborhood with our kids. They're on their bicycles. We're meeting all kinds of neighbors that we didn't even know lived in this neighborhood, right? Everyone on those nice sunny days, they're out, they want to talk. We have something in common. All of us have this common struggle that we're going through. And so there's a point of connection. So it's been really cool to just see who's in our neighborhood and see them all walking around and having those conversations from 2 meters away, and really getting to know them. And no one has anywhere to rush off to. So they stay and they just engage in conversation. So that has been really cool.
Yeah.
And positive as well.
Yeah. And I think that's a common theme. Like we're all forced to slow down.
Yeah.
And I think we're not beyond, but we're sort of past looking at ourselves, but now we're building those relationships again, whether in the home or like you're saying, in our neighborhoods, people are reaching out in different ways or calling people they maybe didn't call for years.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's a very healing time.
Yes.
It's very devastating as well, but I think a lot of good is going to come out
for
of
sure.
this, and we're going to be so much stronger at the other end.
Yes. I think so. I believe it's giving us all a glimpse, and I know I'm saying this from a position of privilege, but it is kind of giving us me at least a glimpse of, wow, what would life be like if we really did slow down and remove so many of those things from our plates that we say we have to do or that we need to do. What would it look like if we all woke up in the morning feeling rested because we didn't have to rush off to school? Maybe homeschooling is on the table. I don't know. Like, we've been starting school around 9:30 or 10, and everyone's kind of happy instead of groggy, right? What would it look like if we, were able to, if I could teach my kids some skills, like, so I want to teach them some sewing skills, and we've been doing some different projects at home that I would simply not have the time to do if this was life as usual, right?
Right.
So yeah, it's. I think whenever we get back to quote unquote normal, sorry about that. Whenever we do get back to normal, what are those things from this season that I want to keep moving forward, right? Yeah. And what are those things that I don't want to get back to that I was before? Yeah, it's been a good time to reflect.
Yeah, and I hope we put more priority on these times with our family and our loved ones and ourselves even. Yeah. The self-care piece. Yes. Especially as therapists and practitioners.
Yes. So true. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Too busy taking care of everyone else. And that's another thing. I've started, working out, like, again, like, it's great. Part of the reason I haven't been working out so much is because like I mentioned, I have my 10-month-old. Yeah. So she's almost getting to the point where she's sleeping through the night. So my sleep is better. But it's been cool, like, bringing my weights out and doing heavy lifting in our front yard. So like we've kind of made our driveway into a little gym, my husband and I. So we just exercise out there while the kids play and talk to people, and it's good.
Oh, good. I like that. That's good. Yeah, and we need to get that physical exercise back in. Yes. And we're certainly not at the end of it. And I think the novelty and the real fear of it is sort of faded. So now we got to get practical, and how are we going to best use this time?
Exactly. Yeah. I think people, in talking with many people, we've maybe reached the point where, like, okay, this is happening. Let's move forward because we need to keep going forward in our life now. And like you said, there's been some acceptance of what's happening, and how can we adapt and keep functioning properly in our world as it is right now? Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good segue for me for asking you if you have any advice or tips for people during this time that they might do just to handle this time a little better, and also to prepare for getting back to life, to whatever the new normal is going to be.
Sure. Yeah. That's a good question. Well, I can just share with you what I have been doing. Like I said, this has been a time where my husband and I, we've been asking ourselves a lot of questions. what is the future going to hold? What do we want our future to look like? And it's really helped us be thinking outside of the box and dreaming bigger, and be able to figure out sort of a vision and a direction for our life and for our family. And so I guess a piece of advice would be, if you have extra time, grab a journal, grab a piece of paper or your tablet or whatever you like to write on, and just ask yourself, some questions like, okay, what is my life purpose? Why am I here? I know that's kind of a big question, but I don't know if a lot of people ask themselves that question. Why am I here? What is my purpose? Where am I going? What do I want my life to look like in a year or 5 years or 10 years? And it's a perfect opportunity for some self-reflection and for some dreaming. So, and I also find that that's a very hopeful exercise to do, right? Instead of feeling down and depressed about our current life is going to go on. So we have the ability to make changes and to create that life that we want in the future. Of course, there's some qualifiers to that, right. but it first starts with being able to believe that it's possible, right? Yeah. So yeah, this would be a great time. I would advise anyone, if they've got some extra time, to just grab a journal and answer some of those questions and figure out, where do you want to be in a year or two?
Yeah. And I like the dream component of it. Yeah. Dream big. Why not?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
We've seen what we can do without, so let's see what we can do when we have.
Yes, exactly. That's so true. And it's been kind of cool to realize how much we can do without in this time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's really been a great lesson in so many ways. So
it has. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Ibbie. I have also tasked everybody with getting their inner comic out.
Oh no!
And if you have a favorite joke or pun or anecdote that you'd like to share, just for a bit of laughter.
Sure. Oh, and I'm not good with this type of thing. My husband is the one who's a stand-up comic, so I asked him this morning, I'm like, okay, do you have any dad jokes? Like, what sort of jokes could I deliver on this interview? And I'm gonna mess it up. But he said, oh yes, how did this joke go? Very, very cheesy dad joke here, but what did the man who was addicted to the hokey pokey say?
I don't know what the man who was addicted to the hokey pokey said. What did he say?
Well, he said he turned himself around, and that was what it was all about. Right? So such a bad joke, honestly. Like, I'm groaning at myself here.
Well, and for those that don't know the song, oh no, that's good. That's good. Well, it's good just to have some levity and some nonsense and amongst all this stuff.
So true.
Laugh and just have some light in our day.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Well, thank you for your time and for sharing with us. And
thank you.
I'll certainly put some links to the Mama's Physio down below this video, so people can contact you or at least find out about pelvic floor and what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And
all right.
Everyone watching, thank you for joining us again. And if you'd like to see more videos, they are posted on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at @AnnTheRMT, as well as my website. So thank you for joining us, and please be blessed and be a blessing to someone else. Thank you so much, Ibbie. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. Because I'm like, I've been waiting for that.
Oh my goodness. It's something that like Seinfeld would be all. Yeah.